or a blogger and you keep receiving this kind of errors whenever you are on your website or from your website, all right, stay tuned to the end of this video so that I can actually clarify what you need to do to prevent that error or to get rid of that error totally. All right. So even if you don't have a website, all right, even as long as you are going to have a website or a blogging site, still need to stay tuned to the end of this video because I have vital information here to pass across to you guys. So you know, website is these days you can anybody can actually launch a website using a simple WordPress, and then you can begin vlogging or blogging from there as long as and you don't need any coding coding skills for you to be able to actually start blogging or start building up a website. All right, you can build up a website without touching even a single line of code, and that's what WordPress has actually done in terms of helping users to actually do that. WordPress actually helps users to actually be able make users Jesus WordPress actually makes it possible for users to be able to actually build their own website to their own taste without having to touch any single line of code. All right. So if you don't have know how to code or do anything, so you can actually build a website for yourself and not have to worry about all those shitty lines. All right, it might be shit to do. All right, so now having a website needs a lot of updating at times, and while updating, one or two things may be wrong with your plugins, or one or two things may be wrong with the site. You might update to a newer version that needs a newer plugins, or a newer plugins that need a newer version of WordPress, or a newer version of WordPress that need a newer version of the PHP, because WordPress is built on PHP. All right, so now this is what actually happened to my site, and that's why I'm actually making this video to you guys. All right, so I actually updated my WordPress site, and then it needed a newer version of PHP. All right, my PHP was a bit outdated. So now, updating PHP, you need to go to the section of the uh, host provider, or the host provider, to actually carry out on that update. And my host provider is Namecheap. All right, I actually love these people because they are a bit very helpful. They actually uh, very prompt when it comes to customer care. All right, so I went to PHP, updated my WordPress. So my WordPress was about version 7.0, and then I decided to update it from version 7.0 to about version the latest version there was about 8.1. I updated it to about version 8.1, and I started receiving errors upon errors upon errors. I couldn't even upload the picture on my WordPress site. It was really bugging. I changed all the plugins. I disabled all the plugins. Nothing worked. I enabled them, removed some plugins. The problem was not just from those plugins. I removed whatever I could remove to actually make it actually work better, thinking that something was wrong and nothing actually worked. And then I contacted the Namecheap, the host provider, letting them know the error I'm receiving on my site. All right, you know that if you are contacting someone who is technical inclined, sometimes you have to pay a huge amount of money. All right, but most issues are just minor that you can actually have them done with just a little twist. All right, so I contacted them and they made some suggestion which I carried on, but it still didn't work. And then they now made mention of me switching between the version of the PHP I'm using. And then I thought of it. I said, oh, that could be true, let me check it out. All right, so I switched from the latest version it was down to version 7.3, and then went back to my WordPress to check it. It wasn't up. The error kept coming in, and the error was still there. All right, nothing ever changed. It was still there. All right, and then I went back and switched from that version 7.3. I mean, okay, I think I switched to the first version. I switched to was 8.0. All right, remember it was 8.1 before now. So 8.0. So I started switching down the version. All right, closer to the version I switched from. All right. All right. So this is what you need to do. Go to your host provider and then go to the panel and then click on select PHP version. When you click select PHP version, this is you trying to switch the PHP from the current version it is to whatever version you want it to be in. So now you see all these options. You don't need to touch anything. Leave it the way it is. So you can see mine was currently at version 8.0. Okay, that's after switching from 8.1. It was at 8.1, so I had to switch to 8.0. So I had to go back and switch back to 8.1, thinking the whole situation will actually work out, but man, it didn't work out. So I still had to go back. Now when you click here, you switch the PHP version, and you as well switch the extension version, and then click on set. You see, click on set version. The extension version should be the same as the PHP version that you have chosen. So this is what I did. So after doing that, you click set, and that is set. You go to your WordPress and check it out. So for me, it kept showing the same error, so I had to switch all the way back to version 7.3, and that's when everything eventually worked out fine. Remember, I updated from version 7.0 all the way to version 8.1. All right. So I kept reducing the version till it became stable at version 7.3, and that was when the website started functioning. Everything just got back the way they were. Everything just started working eventually perfectly well. All right. So looking through right now is a kind of tutorial on how the switches were actually done. All right, how I made the switches. All right. So in case you ever have any issues like this, you should be able to actually uh, be able to, you know, go through this video, and then it should be a guide to you. So you wouldn't have to go to any programmer and pay a huge amount of money to actually have this done for you, when you can actually do it by yourself. But if you have the resources to actually do most of these things, fine and okay. So, do you love this video I'm making for you guys? Did you learn something new? Please do well to subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, alright? If this actually made you learn something new, or if you actually learned something new from this video, please subscribe to my channel and like this video so that YouTube algorithm can push it as far as possible and more users can come join us, alright?